no matter which candidate you support. There's no doubt the recall election and the events leading up to it have divided the state. Tonight, we continue our series of reports with the We the People Project. News 8 is one of several media organizations around the state taking part in the project that brings together people from diverse backgrounds and takes a closer look at issues through their eyes. News 8's Mike Thompson has more from a Viroqua resident.
Like most people in the state, Palmer Hoffland of Viroqua has strong feelings about this recall election. And like most people, he's become fed up with the endless ads and attacks coming from both sides that leave the voter in the dark about who to believe. But even so, Palmer says now is no time to sit back on the sidelines and watch. Even for the most experienced, weeding through the political turmoil of this past year hasn't been easy.
Gets to be almost too much, It should not be dominating our life.
71-year-old Palmer Hoffland of Viroqua spends a lot of time in his backyard garden these days, a quiet, peaceful refuge, if you will, from the realities of what politics in Wisconsin has become.
Contentious, probably is one word. It's divisive, almost aggressive, and compared to any time I can ever think of.
This self-proclaimed vocal independent, who tends to lean mostly towards the right, is finding out in this polarized political climate there's definitely a time and a place to talk politics.
I don't think I've ever been afraid to express my opinion on almost anything, and I'm not afraid to express my opinion on how I feel about this election and who I would support. But you kind of look around before you say it.
Even despite the negative tone and mudslinging the campaigns have taken to, Palmer is actually finding himself more engaged in the political process than ever before.
I think if ever people in this state need to stand up and try to make it better, now's the time. And you can stand and complain all day long if you want, but it isn't going to solve anything. So you need to represent, your opinions and do it in a good way. But become involved in the process.
And he knows no matter which candidate wins this historic recall, it's going to take a long time for the wounds to heal and for the politicians to find common ground again.
I'd like to believe they'd all say, okay, we exercised our rights under the Constitution of the state of Wisconsin. These were the results that we got. Now we got to move forward. But I just don't see that happening.
Palmer says if there's one thing he thinks can help change the political climate, it's pulling in the reins on fundraising, especially when it comes to how much money outside groups can raise. Remember, Palmer is just one of several people talking about this. You can see what the other participants in the We the People Project have to say by going to our website, news8000.com, and clicking on Politics under the News tab.